Dan, have you been outside today? It is hot, man.
Yeah. Hot, muggy, steamy, sweaty, gross.
Yeah, it is hot. And I feel like I'm ready to transition to my summer hours where I work in the morning and I work in the evening.
I'm with you. I'm making that transition as well. I'm ready.
Yeah.
How,
Uh,
however, there's that one part mornings and evenings.
yeah. So there's two problems with me working in the evenings. Then you got to deal with the mosquitoes. And then the problem with me working in the mornings is I'm asleep.
Yeah, I was going to say the problem with me is that morning and evening come before and after all the other work. And so I'm like wore out.
Yeah, you still have your full-time job, you being a firewood hobbyist.
Oh, yes indeed. Yep. Yeah, there it is. We haven't mentioned that word of the day for a few weeks. I'm glad
Yeah,
you
I don't
worked
know what
that
it
in.
is. It's always on my mind, but sometimes we get zeroed in on something and we lose track of our favorite word of the decade.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes we're focused on this podcast and not appearing to be just hobbyists. So we lose track of saying hobbyist.
Yeah. But I was not that word last week. Did you hear the big news where I delivered wood to?
Yeah, I saw that. You are really stepping up into the big time, man.
What the heck was that, man? I was looking serious. I have a pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses somewhere, like, Billy Joel kind of stuff. I was going to wear them up there and just play up the rock and roll thing going on, but I couldn't find them. But still, it was nonetheless a very exciting delivery for me. One of a kind.
Yeah, I was thinking when you stepped out of your truck, you would be in your Elvis jumpsuit, but that didn't happen
Yeah,
either.
that'd have been awesome. Yeah. If you didn't know, people, I had a recent delivery to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. And I don't know, there's just some times when I first started with this, I was picking up restaurants, I would see the number come on my caller ID or through my email, and man, that lights you up like a Christmas tree, like heck yeah. And then when I saw the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I at first thought it was a, I don't know, telemarketer. I don't know why they would be calling me,
Prank
but
call.
I don't know what it was. But here it was, the chef. I guess they have an executive chef at the Rock Hall, and they were looking for firewood.
And they found you and you delivered.
They did find me, and they found me because of my website. I don't know, maybe we should do a episode about the importance in, what century are we in? 21st
20
still?
21st, I think.
Yeah, we're still in that. uh Gosh, if you don't have a website, if you're in any kind of business, there's no excuse to not have a website, because you can get them for free, for crying out loud.
Right. And you just need like a one page or even just a
Yeah, that's all
contact
you need.
page. Yep.
Talk about credibility. I was thinking of that for the International Firewood Expo, about getting a website, because it's just instant credibility when you have that. And when you think about the cost to you in your time, if you're going to build it yourself, or or the cost out of your pocket, if you're going to pay someone to do it for you, it's not that we're not talking a lot of money here, people. And you immediately increase the net value, the net asset of your business, because you have a website. Oh, you got to have a website.
Yeah, and I think like most domains are only like 12 to 15 bucks a year. So for like $1 a month you can secure your domain, and then you can use some of these templates and online builders that just build a one-page site, no problem.
No, yeah, cakewalk.
Yep.
And you are, let's use me as an example. Okay, Dan, you're a computer nerd. So your your input here is not as valid as mine. Okay, you are a professional computer nerd, and I am a hobbyist computer nerd. Right? I have
Yes.
I have basic computer skills. I can type into Microsoft Word. I can do a couple things in Excel. I can surf the heck out of the internet, you know, and I can play some video games, but not like these professional gamers and stuff. But I was able to build my own website, and it looks halfway competent with pictures, with address and phone number, the call to action, the button, that kind of stuff. If I can do it, I know anyone can do it. It is that easy.
Yes, it is very simple. And the other thing to remember is that when people are looking for, let's say, like firewood in your case, and they come across your website, that initial impression, 3 to 5 seconds, that's all they need as they're scrolling to find your contact info. It's not like something that you have to spend a lot of time and get meticulous into details because people are just scanning through it. They're seeing it, they're finding your contact info, and they're getting a hold of you.
Yeah. I think the days of the cork board at the grocery store,
Oh,
uh,
long gone.
yeah, the signs that you tack onto the telephone poles at the intersections. And then you think about, people that would still go around through neighborhoods and hang up tags, on people's doors or stick them in their mailboxes.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, just think how much effort and time that you're wasting doing that. When all you need is a website. Everyone's got a cell phone in their pocket. That is the I don't know, I was almost said the only way. That is just about the only way that people look for anything anymore. You could be driving through Perth, Ontario, Canada. I mean, talk about a lost town, right? You could be in Perth, Ontario, Canada, and you could type in um, where could I find a dollar store, and it will take you right to it.
Yep.
That
Boom.
that is just the way. I'm picking on our good friend Andrew Easton. That is just the way that commerce is done in the 21st century, Dan.
Yes,
And
indeed.
by golly, that was I have a lot of things that I'm grateful for with the way my business has developed, but it started with my website. And by golly, a major league company, a institution like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame found me because of that.
Right. And now you're going to have to update your site to put that as a banner. Firewood delivery service for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So they have a on the plaza in front of the Rock Hall. It's just this wide open expanse. They have like a concert stage out there. They got some of this, a little bit of that, and they have some food trucks. But in the one corner is the Rock Hall's own kind of kitchen, a food stand where people can walk up and order a sandwich. And there they have a big barbecue pit, a smoker back there, and it really hit hard. Someone in my comments from watching my video, they said, in theory, because the Rolling Stones were coming in to Cleveland for the weekend, that Mick Jagger, could be eating a sandwich smoked with my firewood.
Oh, my
That was
goodness.
cool.
Oh, my
Yeah,
gosh. Yeah. Wow. The 7 degrees of separation have just been narrowed down to just a few
yeah,
between you and Mick Jagger.
uh huh, yeah. But did you watch my video on the Rock Hall?
Yes. Yes, I did. I
Yeah.
saw you parked in the towaway zone, which
Oh,
is
that
always
was
good.
stressful. That was stressful. I didn't know what to expect, because there's police everywhere in Cleveland. Everywhere you turn, there's a police car. And they told me, go park in front of that. They said, you see that real big sign up there that says no parking or else, you know?
Yep.
They said, go park right there.
I think they do that to all the first timers that
Oh
first time
boy.
delivery people. They prank them. They say go park over there next to the towaway zone sign, and then,
Yeah.
just wait, just sit there and wait.
Yeah. I was waiting for them at least for like my truck to get unloaded, and then they would have approached me, you know? Make me
but
do all the work first.
but no, that looked like it was quite the adventurous delivery up there to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and lot going on. It was like, I don't know. It just seemed like that whole plaza area I could see just really get buzzing. And do
Oh,
they have
yeah.
concerts out there too, right?
Yeah, they have a
Yeah.
concert stage. So it was real early in the morning when I was there. So there wasn't a lot of people, but even like that, there was a buzz there, man. Just I think with being there and the big sky and Lake Erie and the music, which was pretty loud when I was there, that was real exciting. But the way it all started, the chef gave me the address and the directions, and I was to pull around back, go through this gate. They had my name on the list, and I drove into like the basement of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I was like, well, this is cool, but when you're there, it's just concrete and doors. It wasn't like you could tell you were there. So the whole kitchen team came out because they were going to help me unload the truck, and they were going to walk it all upstairs. So they started talking amongst themselves, and they got the security guard involved. And he says, that it's supposed to go all the way up on the plaza. And he goes, well, why don't you just drive the truck up there? And they gave me two places that I could park. One was paralleled off to the side, or I could pull right in front of the um, rock hall, but I would be in the no parking zone. Risk it. And I was like, I gotta park in front of it. I wanted to get my
Yeah.
truck, wanted to get some shots of my truck sitting right
Photo
in front of the
ops.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So what the heck? That was the story behind me parking there. I didn't have to park there, but I did. I was risking it just to get that shot, and it came off pretty good.
Yeah, I would say that those are the little things that make it all worthwhile. You gotta look for those opportunities and definitely take advantage of photo ops like that because I mean,
Yeah, yeah. I would never. Okay, what do they never say? Never. Yeah, Cleveland is out of my area. And I think because of my website too, I get calls from all over the state of Ohio. And that's why I had to redo my website and my message on my voicemail that, we only deliver to the two counties. And, if it's anything other than firewood delivery, don't leave a message. Because I know my phone rings all the time. And but they reached me through the email, and that's why I was really excited to see that come through. But I would never deliver to Cleveland. It's just too far. I don't like driving my truck that far, and especially carrying weight in it. And that city driving, and Cleveland gets a little challenging with if you're from the area, everyone knows what the Valley View Bridge is, and just that driving over that and all, and then the traffic and the start and stop, with all that weight in my truck. I do not. It's just out of my area. I'm just not going to go there. But when the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, says jump, I say okay. That's
yes,
an easy exception.
right. You'll make it part of your delivery area for something like that, and for that opportunity to service a client like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, you better believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did get to go inside. Now I have been in the Rock Hall a long time ago. I think it opened in 1995. So I was up there like pretty early after it opened up. But I've never been back. And that was my first time back, and it was exciting. If I had more time, I would have paid to go through it. It was really cool. Just from that common area where there's a cafe, it's where you buy your tickets. There's like a gift shop, so you don't have to pay to get into that. I could see, I saw they have the actual wall from Pink Floyd's The Wall concert in there, and I could see part of
Mm.
it from where I was standing. I forgot to shoot it with my camera when I was in there, though. That airplane over top was from Pink Floyd. Those cars I think were from U2, and just neat things like that.
Yeah, that lobby was huge, and it was. I mean, like you
Yeah,
said, there was stuff hanging. down from the ceilings, and it's in that big pyramid shape. So like the inside, it looked pretty. It looked awesome. I would actually wouldn't mind stopping in there myself and doing a
Yeah.
little shake, rattling, and rolling. You know.
It came to my mind though. It's just the way I think it is if you live in an area. So I live 1 hour from the Cleveland, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I live 1 hour from the NFL Hall of Fame in Canton. And I've only been to each one of them once. I was at the NFL Hall of Fame one time when I was a little boy, and I've never been back. And it just, you know, it's just funny when something's in your backyard, you just don't, I don't know. It's not as
Yeah.
appealing to you.
Right. It's not as big of an attraction, or it doesn't have that lure of gotta go see it.
Yeah. When I lived in Memphis, I was in graduate school down there. I almost every weekend I would drive to downtown to the Mississippi River because it was cool, the history and everything. And I would go there all the time. I even found this one park where you could like wade out into it. It was north of Memphis. What a great place! You can stand there and you could pretend you see Tom Sawyer coming down on a raft. All my friends that I had down there that lived there, they always laughed at me and they said that they grew up in Memphis and they literally have been to the Mississippi probably less than 5 times their whole life. It just
Yeah.
seems that's just the way it is.
Yeah. I grew up every day going to school right along the Mississippi, and people, oh, it's the same thing. People, oh, I gotta go and see the Mississippi. I'm like, I see it every day.
Yeah,
Not a big deal.
it's like the Great Lakes. So I'm 30 miles inland from Lake Erie. But I know every time I go there, it's special. I love it when I go up there. And but people that come here, that's what they got to go. That couple that came from Alaska to the International Firewood Expo, they went right up Route 11 to Lake Erie and went to the harbor of Ashtabula Harbor and just saw the lake. It's a big deal.
I flew over Lake Erie on my way to Pennsylvania last week.
Did you?
So yeah,
You could have saw me.
I might have. Yeah, I don't know.
I was waving at you. You didn't see me.
Well, I looked, but that truck blends in. You got to get a better decals on the roof of your truck.
So getting back to this website thing though. Now you're a hobbyist. However, you have started a professional operation selling small firewood, right?
Yes,
And it would be practically impossible to run that business without a website. Do you agree?
I totally agree. Everything is funneled through my one landing page right into, yeah, without a website, not going to happen.
And is it okay? I don't want to make this episode about websites and all this computer stuff, but there is a term. So, like, if you have a website and it's active, it's still pretty invisible. No one can see it unless they know what the address is. So, there is a technique called SEO, search engine optimization.
Yes.
And there's things that you can do to your website to help Google or Bing or whoever find it.
Yes.
Yeah. So is your website optimized, however, to where a person in Nevada could search it and find it on your website?
Yes and no, because there's optimizing it for search, but then there's also ranking in search. And so you can like pay to rank higher in search through like Google. So I haven't done that yet, but yeah, it's, I mean, for the most part, I have gone through and added, the proper metadata and everything I need. Now we're getting real technical terms here.
Yeah. Well, that was my first learning experience when I got my website, ohiowoodburner.com. That was great, but no one could find it. So if you searched for firewood, Cortland, Ohio, or Youngstown, Ohio, it didn't come up. and it would be like 10 pages. It would be like on page 10 of Google
Yep.
search. But that's when I just did it all myself. So there are people that make a living out of SEO, search engine optimization, where if you're in an industry that is super duper competitive, like, I don't know, landscaping or banking or something, tree service, where there's a bunch of these guys in one area. When a person Googles um, tree service near Madison, Wisconsin, you want your website to show up first. And
Correct.
people can pay to do that. Well, I wasn't going to pay because I'm frugal. And my wife would say I'm cheap, but I say I'm frugal. And I did some research and I did it myself, unprofessionally, but I did it. And mine started showing up.
Yep.
And that's how it happened for me. Get a website, guys.
Yes. Get a website and look a little bit into your SEO and just the way that you add, your descriptions of things, your about section, just have it contain keywords that will be picked up and found when searched.
Yeah, that's what I had learned. That's why a lot of these about pages aren't just telling the person about the company you're looking at. They're strategic. you know,
Yep.
they're helping that website be found on a search.
Right. And I like
Yeah.
I have, for instance, I have my one so I have a domain back40minifirewood.com, but that just then points to a page on my back 40 firewood website. So you can actually even get into, if you want to get fancy with it, have one website, get another domain, point it back to, you know, loop it all together, tie it up into a nice little bundle of being able to reach out for. So if people are searching for one thing, they can, you could have like smoking Ohio wood burner smoking wood.com, and that would then just go to your regular site. So there's a lot you can do for people to find you.
Yeah. Hopefully not finding me in the afternoon during the summer because I am inside in the air conditioning. Yeah, the
Oh,
older I get, Dan, the heat, boy, it just doesn't. When I was younger, I was impervious to heat. It
yeah,
didn't matter how hot it was. I remember I was a pitcher. My best games as a pitcher were in oppressive heat. Heat did not phase me. But now it's quite the opposite.
and the one thing to remember, this time of year now, when you are working in your wood yards, stay hydrated and take plenty of breaks because it does. I mean, if you can get that, what is it, heat stroke or heat exhaustion, like real quick. You don't even know.
Yeah.
You don't even. All of a sudden, you're just boom out.
Yeah. That's where I need to pay attention to that. Now I got this new roof, over my processor, and man, it is nice.
Yeah,
But I noticed the wood dries out really fast at my wood yard, and I think it has a lot to do with that hard packed gravel because it puts out the heat, man.
it radiates the heat. Yep.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, the carport, that'll be nice for you to. That's one of the biggest things I like about mine is the shade, just staying out of the sun. It's not
Oh
so
yeah,
much staying out of the rain or anything. It's staying out of the sun. That's the big factor.
yeah. I made wood at around 1 p.m. this week, and I don't think I've ever done that before because I always try to stay out of the sun. And it was just nice. I was relaxed under there. I wasn't hurrying to try to get done, to minimize my exposure. Yeah, it was nice. I love that roof. That's the best money I've spent money on since that unloader on my tailgate of my truck and my website, my
And
free
I was just
website.
gonna say, and your website.
Yeah. So my website, that's where I've made friends with Kier Anderson. And if you look at all of my descriptions on my videos, I have a link. He has a special Ohio Woodburner only page on his website, and he builds. And there have been a number of websites he's made for viewers of Ohio Woodburner. So if you're the type that you want a website, but you don't want to do it yourself, give this guy a call. Just check out my video. Any description in my video, it's near the bottom. You'll see a link to his digital red zone website.
All right.
We will recommend Kier here, Dan. He's a nice guy. We need to get him on the podcast. Maybe we should do a video or a podcast about websites.
Didn't we just do that?
I don't know. Did we? Do you think this one counted as a website?
Maybe not. Maybe this is just like the awareness for a website. But yeah, maybe that would be of interest to
yeah. But he was telling me that there is a new, I don't know, maybe you could talk to this, Dan. There is I don't know if it's like dishonest type of behavior, but some of these website builders will create a fictitious company and a fictitious website, and they'll get it ranked number 1 in an area. And then they sell it to another company and they like change the name of it or something. Have you ever heard of that before?
I have not heard of that, but it does not surprise me.
Yeah, he was telling me that there is a group of people out there that do that kind of stuff. I think there's a term. It's kind of, and it's different from like people that I think they call it cyber poaching, where if they know a company is an up and comer, they'll buy the domain.
Yeah.
And then they hold it hostage and then I'll sell it back. Well, Dan, maybe we should wrap up this computer, non-computer website, non-website episode of the Woodhounds.
That sounds good. We can go relax in the AC and maybe catch a quick nap here before the evening splitting session.
Yeah, it's too hot out there to do that today. Good heavens.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Dan, let's thank everyone for helping make the Woodhounds the number 1 firewood podcast in the world.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. And you can find us on all your favorite podcasting platforms every Wednesday morning at 5 a.m. Eastern. New episode drops.
And despite the streaming service that you use, if you would please consider giving us a 5-star review, that really does help us become found on other searches with people that are watching or listening to podcasts. So thank you, everyone, for your support. And so, Dan, maybe let's strike up the band. Or did we already strike up the band?
It struck. Band is marching.
Okay. So with the band already being struck, let's tell everyone out there to stay
safe
and rock
and roll.
Oh gosh, and have
a great day.